All right, I just started a totally new video. I don't know what was happening with that last one. Sorry again. I'm gonna have to grab the video link and post it to Discord and see what we got. So let's see if this one is going live. There's the watch. Oh. All right. I still have that other window. Let's see if this one is going live. Yeah, maybe. Video available. Watch. Oh my God. All right. I think it's coming in now. Let's pop over to Discord real quick, and I'm gonna drop this other link, and then we'll get started. Still have that. And I'll say special things. Close that. Oh my God. All right. I think it's coming in now. Okay. Yeah, I paid my electric bill. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's 1:06. Apparently, my streams don't like it when I shift from Facebook groups back to YouTube, and it logs me out of my freaking thing. It's frustrating, but thanks for being here. I'm glad we're... All right, coming in. Got Melvis, Oliver, Spec, Shepherds, DJ Waters. Cool. So we'll give everybody a second. This is Wednesday, September 29th, and we're gonna do track feedback and dunk your audio cookies into the milk of our feedback, which is my crazy, stupid analogy. And can I see your comments and all that? Yeah, I think so. Right now we're listening to the Grown Out of Minimal ambient stuff from Pivklit. This is a track called Plants of the Gods. I know what I need to do. I need to label it. Plants of the Gods. And the good news is, just this morning, I had a really cool interview with DJ Waters where we talked about music and things surrounding the crowds of people, what it's all about, and what he does, and you get to know him at a deeper level as a person and a producer and a DJ and a banging radio mix set host right now, which is really cool. So that's in editing right now. I'm just gonna touch up a couple things and upload that. That's one of the reasons I reconfigured my tech to do the interview, where I had like 2 audio sources coming in, and then when I came back to do this track feedback, even though I tested it, it didn't work the same way. So that's that. Grown Out of Minimal, I'm not sure how much I can give track feedback on this music. It's so cool. And it's so deep and pulsing. There's a nice low end, some background sounds, some synths flipping around. Could somebody check in Discord and see if there's anybody chatting over there? I want to bring everybody over here as much as possible, but it's a little much to do all this stuff at once. So put in news from Steve. And somehow I don't see the YouTube channel anymore. I don't know why. It's a work in progress, but yeah, Ian's on here. It was fun. So Plants of the Gods, and Pivklit made some comments around this post that it's a part of an EP that's coming together that's going to be done soon. So there's that. If you didn't notice, the Saturday replay is up with timestamps of tracks, and I'm starting to put in, when we mention like a super cool little tip, I try to grab a timestamp for that. Oh, Pill Smith, thank you. stream starting. And now I want to actually mute all my Discord notifications. I close that. Right. DJ Waters, who's Pivclit? Yeah, Pivclit hasn't been showing up in the live streams for track feedback lately, but he's like the master of Discord. So he's super on time with that. Now we're gonna start off. Pill Spit, Pill, I got a question for you. I have Hiatus up with a link from 4 days ago. Let's play this and let me know in the chat, is this a new version or is this the same version as last week? Oh, Scott Burke, you came in at the right time, just after all the tech. I saw your comments that you layered up the stuff that you liked. And I'm not sure if you put up a second new version to replace the audio or what, so can you tell us? Oh, Maxime, hey, how you doing? Oh, and the title of this video is wrong. This is not how to join Discord. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Well, let me pause that. You didn't do anything on that one. Okay. All right. Let's go. Did you put up a new track? I want to play the newest one. Let's go on to Danat's Feels Like This. And this is a brand new one from Adam Hatfield. Barefoot, got it. All right, cool. This track's kicking in. We're at a minute 05 with Adam Hatfield. Danat's track Feels Like This. I gotta change this. Yeah, Pill, I got your track. Play that next. Hi-hat's working, the rhythm's working. Check the low end. Okay, it's feeling to me a little bit like the kick drum is not thumping through like big and loud. The track has the right elements. We got some cool mid-range sounds happening. A little bit loopy. Clap is a little dry. Could use some reverb on that. And again, we could use a little bit of a build-up sound coming into this drop. Drum rhythm is cool though. Programming. You gotta work on the low end to get the kick drum really present and clear coming through. Oh, we got the Matt Schultz. I think I hear some sub boom under there. Boom, right? Yeah, it feels like there's a sub under there. So we gotta get the kick drum. Basically what I would do is take all the channels down, put the kick drum up first of all, just to get that super coming through. Gonna skip ahead a little bit. It feels like, this is a one-day-old track, so it feels like putting the layers together and seeing what sticks. Let's get to the second breakdown. We're at 437. Nice crash going into the breakdown. Is that a little guitar sound? All right, good. You can hear that low sub bump right there. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. When you get the low end tightened up with that sub bump coming through and the kick drum really crisp, the low end is gonna be great. That was good reverse crash coming into that drop. Hey, Paul Robinson's here. Oh, Matt, typical Danat sound, jacking and grooving, yeah. Yeah, Adam, Danats has kind of like a sample-y kind of feel with like little like little rhythms coming from the samples. So I'm gonna pause this right here. It's a 6-minute track, new mix. What you gotta do is take everything down, put the kick drum up louder, and get the kick and the sub working together so that when the beat is going, you get that doom, boom, oop of that super low end bump, and it's gonna be beautiful. The beats are good, sound design is cool, mid-range layers, vocal samples, style. The mix is all pretty good except for the lows. People saying, I think the main synth could use a bit of sound modulation. Not sure if that's normal in this genre. Yeah, it is normal. Yeah, the sounds were kind of static. Like we heard all the layers, and then the programming and the layers just stayed the same for long blocks of time, which is what it's like when you have a new track and you're kind of just fitting together which pieces are going to fill those spots. So 90s club house style, yeah. So we need to hear some modulation, like filters, something like that, EQing on the mid-range sounds, get the lows in shape, and then change the drum programming. So you have like, hi-hats coming in and out, different layers, maybe a top loop, something like that. And that'll be very cool. So here we're gonna go with Pilsmith track called Barefoot. And let us know, I didn't see any comments on this, so I'm not sure if it's new or not. Let's see what we got. like what's happening in this track. It feels like it came in a little bit backwards on the beat. Yeah, the arpeggios in the background. It's a very like dreamy, spacey track on top. Oh, that coming in. That high frequency drum layer, it's like kind of jangly, like a tambourine. That makes it. Yeah, Matt, that's a good comment. The kick definitely has sub, but could use more like smack in the mids. Speaking of being barefoot. It's great. It's like drawing me along, just like fluidly in the track. Sometimes in that situation, to make the kick come out more, I go to like 125 hertz and boost it up a little bit with kind of a tight band and just bump it up like 6 dB at 125. That can make it more like knock kind of instead of being like oof, oof. Good little trick. All right. Around this section, that little snare drum sound could be a little louder. And there are some hi-hats that could be a little louder. Let me just go back a little bit. I'm at 355. Right here at 4 minutes. Those little drums should be louder, I think. Yeah, those little double taps on the snares are cool. This is a great ambient space around the beat. It's like so the beat should be like nice and loud inside of it. It's a cool track. And it's got some glitchy things like Let me skip it forward a little bit. This is 6 minutes. Wow, this is cool. 640. Oliver, you hearing this as lo-fi, like not a lot of high frequency? Yeah, definitely right here you can hear that. I noticed the drums are not as loud as the synth energy. And then if you put a high shelf EQ on the high end of the drums, when you raise the volume of the drum kit, the high end of everything will feel brighter too. Man, it's hard for me to even tell if there is a chord progression or if it's just chords kind of oozing, but harmonically it's like nice. And the ending. Wow, that is a cool track. Harmonically, it's so interesting, and the sound of the mid-range synths is such a like bubbling, dreamy space. That's great. Basically, we're getting a feel that the drums have to be louder in general, so the kick drum needs to pulse and pump through more, which could mean actually taking some of the lows out and boosting the low mids. It doesn't have to be for everybody watching, you don't have to make all your kick drums massive at 40 hertz. I'm not saying this track has that, but sometimes 70 or 80 hertz can be all the bump you need, and you don't need a super subby kick. So not every track needs a super sub in the kick. Hi-hats, claps, snare thing, a little bit louder, and maybe some high-end, a little high-end lift on some of the synths so they're not totally like mid-rangey. Could be. Now, it appears that we got DJ Waters. As always, I like to play tracks from people who are here and who are live. So next up, we got DJ Waters and then Canada. And now I'm in my groove, so I'm going to label the track first. Steve. I got to tell you, it is so freaking frustrating when YouTube works perfectly for one thing, and then I switch and then come back, and it doesn't work perfectly. And I'm just like... But anyway, DJ Waters, no, let's twist it. See that? I put DJ Waters in Canada's track name. Let's twist it. And this is hardcore style for everybody. Yeah, Pill Smith. Pill, cool track. Hardcore style, get ready. Volume down, I'll fade it up. Let's see what we got. And Ian, let me know if you want feedback on this, if I have the right version, the most up-to-date one. Okay, good. So it's a new concept. Good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like the timing on those, how you have the vocal sample like on the same beat, and then the beats come back in. So we like stay in the head nod groove. Oh, ding to the ding. Wop, wop. Ding to the ding. Is that in the hard style? Aha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Wop, baba, loo bop. And we're going ding to the ding. Ding to the dong, but donk a donk. Here we go. Sorry about that, Ian. I thought you said something.
Ding dong. Ding dong. Hello?
Wow. Oh, that was the boxing ring bell, right? Oh, that buzz is so good. I feel a section coming. Okay. Sounds are so cool. I'm gonna pause for a second. In that first section, around a minute, I think that the beat should keep going and have the bell on top. So when we're going right here at like 052, 4, 2, 3, 4, boom. Keep the beat going on the low end, and then bring the bell on top, which will be enough of a gap. Because when the bass starts and stops and starts and stops, it sort of feels like I can't go deep enough into it. Let's skip forward a little bit. Minute 29. I love the juxtaposition, the crazy switch ups, all the different ideas. And the low end mixes are sounding so much better. All this like other stuff is mixed nicely compared to how the low end. Oh my God. I can't not be happy listening to this. I don't know. Good riser. Okay. I got 15, 4, 16, 3, 4, 7. Good. Yeah, 16 bar chunks of just solid slamming beats with no gaps in the bass are important. Dunk. Yeah. So the most important thing I think you can do is for the phrasing, have 8 bar chunks where the bass doesn't get interrupted, and then you can have a glitch, and then start it back with another section. Because when this is such a body wash music, getting into the beat and then having it stop and then having it start again is a little too much disruption. It's like the music is gonna take you with it, but we have to like have a longer time to stay in the bass. And then when you do those little gaps and switch ups, keep them to like a 1 bar length, so as the beat comes back in, it's on the same grid as it was before. 3, 2. Hold on, let me roll that back. We're at 3 minutes. 4, 2, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2. Yeah. So after 8 bars, that little bell gap, I'm going to count this out loud and keep counting to 9, and you'll see just how it doesn't quite line up. So here we are back at 329. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's not like it's not working, because it's so fast and it kicks in, you just get like locked into it right away. But I think you could smooth out those transitions between bar 8 and bar 9 so that it always feels like the downbeat is coming in when our bodies are expecting it. So that as we're doing the pogo thing, dunga 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 glitch, dunga 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 dunga, and it starts back over again. Generally for the consistency, and I know I saw that comment that it's just a fret, you just kind of whacked it together. Totally cool. So as you're doing the lineups of the breaks and glitches, look for the bar lines of like a new bar or 4 beat chunk, and keep the big down bends on there. The big down beats on there. Oh, Armin. I thought it said admin. Somebody said I'm a little bit late on the comments. I'm not sure if that's because I'm not looking at them to read them or if they're not displaying at the moment you type them. Who knows? But anyway, DJ Waters, love the style. I love the way you're chopping stuff up, and overall your mixing is getting much, much better. So in general, let's look at song form to get, think of like the metronome where people's bodies are going to be going. And always when the beat drops back in, make sure that they're like going into a down bump when the beat comes in, so we can keep ourselves like psychologically harmonized in the sound. Only partly joking. Let's play the ending because I just want to hear what you're going to do. 417. Whoa, 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 whoa. 409, 409. Oh, different kick drum. Now that's a good ending, and I heard that little reverse kick drum in there too. And I like these chords. This is a good like harmonic world. Yeah.
You have to play it again!
You have to play it again. Yeah. That's cool. And everybody, me and Ian just did an interview this morning. He was telling me some of his tricks with production, with where does he get those sounds? If you're wondering, where does he get these sounds from and how do they all end up in this track? The answer is in the interview, and it's going to be uploaded probably, let's say tomorrow, just to make sure we get it there. Latency. Okay, well, let's just keep cruising ahead, and the latency will work itself out. So now, Scott, Canada, I see the inverted track. I want to play this, because I saw in Discord you made a comment on it, but I want to again make sure that I'm playing definitely the newest one. So was that inverted? Did you replace the audio file in here? I see yesterday 5:36 based on the feedback. I've made some final adjustments of the offending lead. I'm clicking that link and that goes through to this track that does say 11 days ago. So I'm guessing you replaced the audio. While I'm typing in the title, let me know if I got that right so that we can hear the one with the updates. Inverted. Same link file is updated. All right, cool. Here we go. Mic off. Those hi-hats are so lush, that reverb. And see, I do own more than one coffee mug. This sounds completely done right now. Yeah, smooth so far. Oh, I like that downward sweeper. That was cool. This has a nice tension feel. It's like waiting. All right, everybody, I gotta stop and go through that again. 3 things just happened that were super cool. We went into a breakdown with this downward sweep, so I wanna review that. There was an element of tension and anticipation in this breakdown. It wasn't like, oh, chill out, we're in the breakdown, everybody light a cigarette, hang out. It wasn't like that kind of breakdown. It was like digga, 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 like waiting, and then it came back in. So yeah, this is Scott Burke. Yeah, Canada is Scott Burke, making sure I labeled that. I'm gonna roll it back to right before this. Let's just listen to the elements that created this breakdown, because this is worth a mention. We're at 234 right here. Downward filtered white noise pulse. And now this like, digga, 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 and the vocal chops. What did we do to take that paused anticipation and create a buildup? I'm going over this so hard because it's my favorite thing when buildups come from sounds that we're already hearing. So it wasn't just like another white noise riser or something. There is 2 things. There's a voice, a vocal chop, and then that like vibrating string, like digga, 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 digga. So listen to how both these change. The string changes and the voice changes in this buildup. 239. Here. So what happens is the vocal chop starts repeating faster and faster on the beat, and the string thing gets a longer like release time on the sound, or it gets like stretched more. So anytime you can take the sounds you have already in your track and tweak them to make a build-up, it works so well. All right, here's that lead on top. What are you guys doing with your B-sides? Yes, this lead is working so much better now. Because the melody is working with that bass line. Dunk, da, dunk, da, dunk, dunk. Ah, the pads come back. So wide. Yeah, that melody is like something you could whistle it now or sing along with it almost. I'm not sure how you changed it, but it's noticeably better. Now we're at 4:23. Let's see how we're gonna get to the last minute. Ah, that percussion sound that I said was lush at the very beginning just came back in. Let me pause here. I'm sorry to pause so much, but we're at 4:28. I just want to refer back to the beginning to hear what was that first sound I commented on with the reverb. So 31 seconds right here. Nice kick drum. Looking for that hi-hat entrance. .47. Okay. So that hi-hat right here, I noticed it right at the beginning. It has such a nice reverb on it, and it's just in the right place in the mix. It's not piercing, it's just crisp. Later, I'm not sure if that was gone for the whole middle part of the track, but 4 minutes and 31 seconds, that sound comes back. And guess what? When you hear the same sound at the end of the track that you heard at the beginning, that is the signal that you're going into the ending of the song. This is a little production note for anybody. If you don't know how to get to your ending, what you should do is take the very first sound that you brought in at the beginning and bring that back, which by definition means the very first sound that you bring in during the middle of the track should drop out and replace it with different sounds. So it's like changing, switching it up. Whatever sound you start with, don't just roll it all the way through to the very, very end in terms of hi-hats and drums. It's so much better to have variation where you have like an intro sound, then it drops out, other sounds come in, because when you bring back the intro sound at the ending for the last 32 bars or something like that, it's this automatic signal where you're like, we're back to the beginning again, because music is cyclical. So when you get back to the beginning, you know you're at the end. You know what I mean? Not trying to get all metaphysical on here, just giving you production tips. And there's our ending. Great, man. Scott, that was a good update you did on the lead synth. Now it's ready to go. I think that one's done. So, the Matt Schultz, Mr. Melvis, use Waves Hybrid. Who do we got this on here? Shepherds. Okay. Destroyed Fields. I am going to take the time to label this because it makes it better for everybody. Shepherds in all caps. Destroyed Fields. Now, I don't know if we're talking about magnetic fields or if Shepherds is a farmer. Let's find out. I like that little sound. Gritty, gritty beats. up on a break. Perfect, yeah, a little bit of a riser sound, cut the kick drum out. That's all you need to do for a break like this. Nice pulse feel. Zh, zh, zh. Okay, so the report from the bass cave is the low end all the way back there. It's almost like a constant thing. It's like whoa, 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 really deep and low. So it's good that there's a scratchy element on the front of the kick drum. It's like, ooh, what's this? We're at 204 right here. Bunker techno, yeah. You might want to get some of the lows out of this part. Might help if you cut the low end right here up until this next thing. So at 225, when that bump comes back in, it feels heavier. So in that little section like 220 or something, maybe take the low end out a little bit. I like the cymbals, it's like that slash. Going up, pitch shifting that cymbal. All right, I hear you got the top of the cymbal. Hold on, we're gonna go back. We're at 254. .309. You could use maybe a little bit of like a little China crash. You have these sounds that are like ka-chang going on right there, 319. But when you're pitching that ride cymbal up and it gets all the way to the top of its range, it could be nice to cap that with a tiny, like a China crash is like, you know, like 8 inches. It's a type of high pitched crash that would go well at the top of that little run. Oh, Oliver, thank you. Yeah, I cut the low end a little bit earlier. Yeah. So again here, 341 maybe. Those breaks are so nice. Shepherds, you got the glitches and the signals really, really well for the song sections. So before a big drop again, cut the low end out. I did it with EQs on the board. You could do it with a high pass filter on that sound or even with an EQ on your whole mix. Like what you would do with a DJ mixer, just the low knob back up. Pill, I love pitch shifted cymbals, yeah. It is a super dark. So Matt Schultz, make the lead sound pop more. I'm not sure which one you think is the lead. Like, that one? Mostly I like the ongoing tick that's like tick, and then it just dropped out. Oh, and the pitch shift going down. Good phrasing. I totally know we're in the last minute. Oh, and it gets even better when it's emptier. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I really like how you're subtracting sounds to keep it interesting. Now we just got kick drum and a couple explosions. I went to Trezor once. Yeah, that is what it sounded like when I was there. Let me hear that ending one more time. I do believe we just heard a rumble all by itself. One more time. Yeah, that very ending was like the last rumble after the last kick, and it was like, wow, boots marching. Yeah, great track, man. Structurally, it's really, really well done with sounds entering and leaving to tell us that we're in different song sections and keep it interesting. And my favorite thing about that structure technique is that at the end of a track, when you start subtracting sounds, it doesn't make it worse, it makes it better. Because all the sounds that are left, you're like forced to focus more on each one of those sounds and get more out of it. That part is cool. The biggest thing I noticed is that in the two main breakdown sections, you need to get some of the rumble out of there to make a contrast, so when the beat drops back in, it sounds hard. And I think that was pretty clear. It was like being like here instead of here. And some people commented on that, and then the cymbals and stuff. Yeah, this doesn't really need a whole lot to be done. I think it's pretty much close to done. The Matt Schultz. Low-end driving force is ace. Could fit in a dark cellar with lots of strobe lights and a huge fog machine. Yeah, Trezor doesn't sleep. Oh my gosh, all these comments. Shepherds, really good stuff, man. Coming together. And my personal favorite, the little glitch sounds. Like in a house track, it would be a drum break. Or in a techno track, it might be like a little gap and then, I don't know, like you know what I'm trying to say. Let's just listen to the first one again. Here we are, 11 seconds. Just that little thing, boom, and then it comes back in. Yeah, those are so fun. Here's 41. And that's a place where you did it right, where there's a little gap, the kick drum drops out, the bass is gone, and then it comes back in on the beat. It's a reverb you stole from the drums. Oh my gosh. Hey, Pivklit's here, back from the meeting. Cool. Hey, we started out today playing Plants of the Gods. And I think I played the whole 12 minutes while I was having stream key freak out. But that project is super cool. I can't wait for that to be done and have all of it to play for like 45 minutes together. Mr. Melvis, soundtrack to a BDSM session. Okay, that costs extra, but yeah. Love Parade. Yep. You guys got some history. All right, let's keep it moving. I'm looking for who is here. We got Melvis and Matt Schultz. So let's do Mr. Melvis with this electronic jam. And then we're going to play not just any Matt Schultz, but the Matt Schultz. And here we go. Road Trip version 1, 500 hertz reduction. What does that mean? Got that rock beat. The guitars are in a great place in this mix. This almost reminds me of something that could be on like a Lenny Kravitz album, where there's like a fuzzy buzz bass that could come from a live bass player with like an Ampeg rig jacked up, loud. Guitar layers pan to the sides, and then in the center that hi-hat beat is holding together. This is a nice mix. It is a little bit odd, yeah, the bass line. Ah, crap, I forgot to change the name. Road Trip, Mr. Melvis. Okay, I'm gonna stop here for a second. One thing I'm noticing is that the guitar parts are going through like pretty epic changes, like big, like movements. But the drum beat is cruising right along. I noticed that at 109. Okay, here's the opening section, 107. And then right there, it just goes into this other thing. Let me play that again. Here's 59 right here. Oh, like the guitars went into this whole other world, but the drums didn't do anything different at all. There wasn't even a cymbal crash, which kind of seems like there's a drummer like in his own box, like jamming away, like, yeah. And the rest of the band is like, hey, we moved, we're over here now. So if you could do something with the drum breaks, with the drums to make a break and signal that we're all shifting to a new place, definitely have a cymbal crash at that moment at 109. When the guitars go up and like space out into a different jam, that would help a lot. And personally for this style, right before that thing, I would like to hear a big ass epic tom roll. It's like something like that. Let's see if I could beatbox that. Make a fool of myself. Okay, we're at 104. Like that, so you're like, oh, now we're off in another zone. I think that would help a lot. Oh, Bo is here, all right. What's up, Bo? Oh, there you go. Right at 123, you had the drum breaks and stuff. They were just not at the place where the guitar shifted. Got the ride cymbal coming in. And going up again. Epic. Digga, 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 digga. Something about this has the rock vibe, like really nicely. Right, that was perfect. Okay, 204. Check that out. Coming into 204, it was just snare taps went and back into beat. Let's check that again. 2 minutes right here. Just like that. Cool. And it's a 3-minute song. Let's let it roll out the last minute, see what we do. All right, I hear that the beats came back to that ending thing where you're hitting the hi-hat a little bit harder and the ride dropped out. That was cool. Yeah, it's good guitar playing too. Probably for the guitar noodlers, you could put the lead melody up louder when that solo line is coming in. Oh, we're doing the fade out thing. Jamming away. That almost sounds like some Jimi Hendrix licks, like doo 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 doo. Damn, jam in shit. Really, the only problem is that the drum structure doesn't go with the guitar and bass line structure as tightly as it should. So when you're having sections where the guitars like lift up into a whole different thing, and it's like taking off some epic thing, just have like the mother of all tom fills and put a crash cymbal on the place where the guitars take off. Guitars are programmed using Riffendium. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't know you could get guitars sounding like that from programming. But, so does that mean taking chunks of samples and sequencing them as little loops of guitar riffs? Are you building riffs from sample chunks? I don't play with that at all. Like if I was gonna do that, I would get out a guitar and be like, I'm gonna practice, and try and make it work. Man, cool track. The mix basically sounded good. For Guitar World, I would take the lead top melody and just make it louder because most guitarists are gonna be like, put my melody louder. You know, for guitar style, that melody should be like burning, just sizzling on top. And Yeah, it sounds amazing. The mix sounds good. The bass for us as electronic people was a home run bass. For super guitar style, you might need to just bring the bass a little less prominent in the mix. I'm saying that carefully, which could mean EQing the top end down, so a little bit of the buzz comes out of that bass, and then the guitars are going to jump forward a little bit more. Somebody made a comment about, Oliver said the kick drum could use more 2.5 kilohertz. That's like the smack or the click on the front of a kick drum. So when you got the drum, the beater hitting the drum head, the actual like mallet makes us like a click. And if you go to a kick drum mic and boost up like 2.2 or 2.5 kilohertz, you really bring out the front end of the click on that kick drum that can make it really focus on the rhythm instead of the thump that comes after. So you could take your kick drum or your whole drum mix or just your kick drum mic if you have one channel of kick and boost up 2.5K. And I've seen dudes put up like plus 12 at that frequency because it's such a bassy sound. Like you can really crank the click on the kick drum, and it's not too much. So see what that sounds like. DJ Waters, cool track, and I don't normally do rock music. Doing something right. I agree. That was cool. Now let me change to the next person. Did I get that right? That space inside. And let's see what we got. Such a calm vibe. Classic Matt Schultz low end. That bass line is almost another kick drum. Got the echo chords. Where's Martin Mindbender? Almost think I hear voices in the background at a really low level. Is there a background noise? Oh, that shaker sound brings it into a new section. I like how those chords are bouncing around too. How's that low end feeling for you guys? For me, it feels nice and buttery. And the chords and everything are right out in front. This is a good mix. Kyoto main station, yeah. How did you guys know that? Oliver, how did you know that? I like the phrasing too. There's little gaps. Ooh, that pad synth comes in. guys all been to Japan? What am I missing? Is there a sample pack of these? Sounds great. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, Paul, the stereo field panning is cool. Minute track. We're at 4 minutes right here. All of Matt's tracks, I just sit inside them and it's like taking a rest. You don't want to use your words a whole lot. You could just put this music on. Now the question is, what is he going to subtract to get to the ending? Oh, that was so cool. Creating a transition. I hate to pause this, but I like pointing out things that really, really work from tracks. And to get out of that, I was asking the question, what's he going to subtract to get to the ending? And to do it, one sound, I heard a reverb bloom, like whoosh. Something went up into the reverb, and then something else was missing. So I'm going to roll it back to just before 5 minutes. Let's just listen to what is in here rhythmically, what goes into the reverb, and what changes after that part. Here's 452. So the double shaker, that stopped. One more time. And the clap is gone. Duh. Cut the clap automatically. You're at an intro or an ending or a breakdown. Good, good, good. Was that a spring reverb? Was that a spring reverb? 454. I don't know if I didn't hear that as a spring at 502, but was that a Matt Schultz? Was that a spring reverb? So good. 519, cutting out something else. My early thought was that rim shot, 529, there's like a single one and then a stereo one. What was the reverb on those? Is that one sound going into a stereo delay? Tap, tap. Or is that two sounds where one is mono and there's one stereo? All plate reverbs. I'm going to do something right here. What I was just doing was, since we had a kick drum by itself, I set my EQ around 2K, and I was just doing a boost and cut to try and pull out the click part of the kick drum, because when it's such a low frequency sound, if you really jack the mid-range, you can get the brightness on it. So that was my little experiment. Yeah, Matt Schultz, I don't have any feedback for you, man. It's good, it's done. Let's hear the very, very, very ending one more time. Did I hear a quick itadakimasu in there? Which I think is thank you. Itadakimasu. Give us the link to buy the track. Give us the link to buy the track. Echo and then played with the offset. All good techno DJs start the night in this genre. Yeah, minimalistic, detailed, like. Oh, Mr. Melvis. Okay, is there any way I can display a timer on screen when I'm playing tracks? Start time, start track, start time. So we can identify specific feedback to time code? That sounds useful, but I don't know if that's possible. What does that mean? Do you want to, would it help if I just screen share all the SoundCloud plays so you can like see the track and see the SoundCloud timer? Are you trying to see the minutes of the music when I'm rewinding and everything? Because I could easily screen share and put a little picture of me in the corner so you're seeing the SoundCloud screen. If that's what you need, let me know. Yeah, top tune. That is a good idea, actually, because it would be a lot easier for me if you guys could always see the track timeline and I don't have to tell you it's 4:09 or whatever. Just display the waveform. All right, I'm going to play one from Gabriel Moraes, who just joined us. It's Arumya NN165. So let me title this one. And NN165. Does that mean something 165 versions? This is 23 hours ago, so it's a new track. It's called Dark Tech. I haven't even listened to it yet. But you might know Gabriel Moraes from, he was in the Facebook group, and he was real active for a while, so now he's over with us on Discord. Thank you again, everybody, for A, coming with us onto Discord, and B, coming with me onto YouTube when I mess up the stream links and my encoder doesn't connect for some odd reason that I'm still going to experiment more with and find out. Here we go with Dark Tech. Oh my goodness. $135, no little hi-hats coming in. I love this shit, it's so clicky and glitchy. All right, does this work better with the SoundCloud and me in the corner? I can just do this all the time. This music is making me crazy. DJ Waters. That sounds like some shit that I would play. And it's so clean. There's like low-end rumble thing, the clicky stuff on top, a hi-hat beat. It's really simple. such a nice pulse too. There's a nice long delay going on with all those slurpy things. I wish Gabriel is on. I want to know how he made those sounds. Is that a violin? Do you guys hear this? Now it feels like a Balkan violin kind of thing happening. So the string plucks are not loud enough and the string lead is not loud enough. I really think those could be more out front on top. It's beautiful. Is that a clarinet? No, I think it's an accordion. Wow. You think it's like 150 or something? Okay, I thought it was a violin at first. And we're at 5 minutes right now. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's eight and a half. Ooh, teasing a snare drum. Is that gonna come back? Wow. That's almost vocal, that 4-minute filter. There we go. 602. That was really cool. So we teased the snare drum before. Now it's coming in with that backbeat. Oh, 165. Shut up. I should have known that. Yeah, you could mix some slow D&D on this. The bass solo. Whoa. So we're like trading instruments playing the same melody line. And 7-11, bringing it down to an ending. That's a jazz trick where you have different people play the same melody and trade solos and stuff with it. This is a really interesting piece of music. Oh, and now we get a string thing coming in. As always, that ending section is so good. Okay, so piano needs to be louder on a couple beats. And right here, these string plucks, 802, definitely make those louder. good loop. So that loop, make it louder. That track was a ride, right? I didn't expect it. It came in so clean, and then it went to all these places. Let's just jump through. Matt says, I have to see my doctor. It's a string pluck. But the kicks need to be harder. I want to scan through the sections and just kind of figure out where stuff happened. So back to the beginning. Teasing that it's an organic instrumental kind of thing. So right here, hard and fast. I'm just gonna cut pieces. So clear on the top end. All that squiggly shit, so good. Okay, then the bass line does That's 328. This is like swampy, like that wet. 420, we got some other strings coming in. 520, solid. And then we got that snare coming in. That's amazing that at 6 minutes out of 8, 3/4 of the way through, we waited that long to get that smacking snare in there. All right, I'm gonna EQ the kicks up. I think that's about as much as I can push it. And there, that's back to flat. I hope that made you feel good. And that snare again, ah! Oh my goodness. And then there's like that R2-D2 stuff in there, like. This track is super fun. It's a great contrast with really technical, slurpy, glitchy kind of stuff on the high frequency. The low end is slamming with that psytrance digga rhythm. But then there's this really cool, like, I don't know, like a folk band or something with a violin, piano, accordion thing. Doom, boom, 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 boom. Too much, it'll mud on a PA like crazy. Do you mean that's too much when I boosted it? Or do you mean the low end is too much the way it is? Because for me, the low end in this mix feels pretty tight. I know I'm not doing like critical low end listening, but I'm just curious. So, Pivclit, do you think the way the mix is built just right now, here we go. Is this gonna be, like right here, is that about the right level for the kick and the fast bass? It sounds good enough that I would put it into a system and see what it sounds like, but I know that there's probably people who produce even clickier, tighter stuff. And the way I define good or bad sub bass for a track like this is, you know, the subs need to push air and then retract to like have another wave come forward. So even if it's a fast rhythm, the speaker motion has to be like dooga 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 dooga, you know, going in and out, even if it's fast. And that's what makes a good sub that you can feel as pressure waves. And bad sub, when I've made tracks like this, is where I think my bass line's amazing, but the speakers are like, and they're just pushed out all the time, and they don't have time to come back for another pulse wave to put like a different blast of air. So, oh, when I boosted it was too much. Okay, the mix as it is will work since on PA the sub can actually keep up. Yeah, cool. All right, that's it. Gabriel Moraes, I'm glad you joined us in the group. Tracks like this, keep them coming, and we'll connect more to get you in here live when we're doing them. Now, the moment you've all been secretly waiting for, the moment I've been waiting for. I want to retitle Martin Mindbender Nosebleed. And now everybody can see me type. Can you see that? Mindbender Nosebleed. Now you know my secrets. Full-on mix, and it's demo, and let's see what we got. Is that a flanger on the cymbal? Okay, that high frequency might be a little bit too much. I like this bubbly stuff. Oh yeah, that synth. Is that like a sample and hold pattern on one wave? How'd you make that? I think that mid-range synth can be a little higher, louder. It's a little soft, but let's see what happens with it. All right, nice changes, keeping it interesting. Yeah, hypnotic, right? I'm gonna try something on the board here. So what I was doing right there was trying to bring the kick drum down a little bit and boost the mids up to get more of that mid-range synth. Yeah. Everybody's saying hypnotic. DK8? Murder was the bass. And it has a kind of rolling feel. That little snare drum. And there we got Mindbender tweaking the resonant filter. Yeah. Oh wait, now that we can play that, I can look on the playback and see the exact minute in SoundCloud and see the delay. It's like a minute. The delay is 1 minute and 12 seconds. No wonder I'm like going crazy. Something is getting distorted. I think, is that the analog effects pedal? Let me roll that back. There's like a rusty burnt sound. Really good and gritty. Matt Schultz, what do you mean early 2000s? What is it about that kick drum that... Okay, this little synth bleep is so good. That's cool. I like how that snare drum break was so dry, too. Coming back at 537. It's like a really papery, dry snare for that drum break. SH101, I don't know. Yes. All right, that was the loop. That I'm glad we got a chunk of that little ending bleep at the end there. That was really fun. I would like to have that loop and remix it. I don't know if I have very many recommendations on this track because the mix feels good. The sounds are super interesting. The structure was cool. There were a lot of signals. And I guess that signals are the number one thing I need in a song form. It doesn't matter to me how long the sections are or how many breaks there are, whatever. Really the important part is that you get a message of like, okay, this has been going on for a while. Something's about to change. And then it changes. So it's like within every track, there is a language of predictability, but that language doesn't apply to other tracks. So maybe like each person as a producer has their own little language or vocabulary of signals or like audio symbols that tell you like something's gonna happen, and it happens. But Mindbender's doing it right with the gaps, the kick drum drops out, a little bit of a sound, something comes back in. Oh, so Matt, it reminds you of that kind of sound. Yeah, that makes sense. Geez, it's 2:30. I've been on for an hour and a half. I think I'm going to wrap it up right now with this track and bring it back on Saturday for anybody else with updates or new mixes. And we have discovered a 1 minute and 12-second delay on YouTube, which actually, now that I think about it, that could have been why some of my previous streams, why I thought they failed, because I started, and Facebook groups, it would go live within a few seconds. So with a minute something delay, maybe I just had to wait longer for the stream to catch up and go live. I'm going to keep testing it. I promise. I'm really sorry that doesn't work every single time. All I can say is that I'm using different, when I'm going to different platforms, they're not behaving the same way, and I got to figure that out. As much as I'm testing it, almost there. It'll get better. So that's it. Yeah, that's going to be it. It's an hour and a half. That's enough for this one. I'll put this up in the replays section on the member site. And let me know, how do you like this Wednesday format? I think I'm going to go watch Dune this Saturday. The old Dune? There is a new Dune coming out, isn't there? I wish Alejandro Jodorowsky had made his Dune movie. That would have been cool. Let me know, how do you all like this while we're here? It's Wednesday, 2:30 for me, so it's probably 7:30 or 8:30 for some people. Is this a good time slot? Is this working? Because I could start, we started at 1. I could start at noon if it's a little on the late side, or I could start at 2 if you want to have a little more time to get home from whatever and have this more in your evening. Scott Burke. Oh, I just thought of you and you popped up. Scott, how is this time slot for you? It's probably your midday. Does it matter an hour either way, or should I just go Wednesday at 1, Wednesday at noon? Just type in some comments like Wednesday time slot good or bad or whatever, so I can get some feedback on that. And I'm excited about our interview series. I had such a good time talking with David Fidele the first time last week, and then today Ian Waters, so that's going to be up with a little bit of an echo on Ian's voice. Monitoring and playback are always questions. The old Dune sucked. Well, if you read the book, it's not as good as the book. New Dune sucks, old Dune sucked. I want to get Mindbender in here for an interview and figure out what the hell this guy's doing, because his tracks all sound so good. In fact, pretty much everybody in here. Scott Burke, Pivclit, y'all. I want to interview you guys. Matt Schultz. Obviously, we can't interview any other Matt Schultzes. Only the Matt Schultz. I like talking to people about where they come from, how do you think of music, and how do you make the music that you think of, and also what else do you do? Did you know that Ian Waters is a master welder who puts buildings together so they don't fall down? Pretty heavy duty. So get ready for that. Oh, Matt, this time slot today is nice for me. Good. Okay, thank you for that. 2:35, la, 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 la. And I want to make a new mix of my track. I made a crazy instrument. I made this instrument with that track, what's called crushed bass or something, where the bass line sound, I wanted to kind of get some of those knob tweaking sounds in there. And I came up with this thing there's like a band pass filter with the LFO moving that around, and then a low pass filter after that whole thing. And they're both synchronized to be pulsing. So, more tracks, yeah. Scott's game, all right, cool. And I do believe last week somebody promised to have the stems from the Stunning White Pantsuit, or at least the vocal. If you could just give us the vocal from the Stunning White Pantsuit as a donation towards the greater good of Mixotexture producers, that would make a lot of people happy. I know it might be private, I know. I'm ready for an interview, don't know if other people are. Yeah, right. DJ Waters is gonna go depart and create men. Oh my God, Greta Thunberg and Armin van Buuren. Y'all are crazy. I'm going for a bike ride outside, get some vitamin C in the sun. See you back on Saturday for track feedback. I swear I'm gonna practice with the link that we schedule with and get it so it streams right on the correct link. Thanks so much everybody for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Mr. Melvis, yeah, you're welcome. All right guys, love you. See you later.